Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Nerd Ledger. I'm all alone. My screen is really big. I'm going to make it smaller. Okay, here we go. Hi, how's it going? What's up? It's just me. I just want to talk because I wasn't here last week to talk. And so hey, listen, sometimes you just gotta talk. There's a lot going on in the nerd space. I'm not sure how much of it I'll talk about today, but there's a whole bunch of stuff. We got Supergirl coming out next week. We had Spider-Man Brand New Day tickets go on sale yesterday. Biggest pre-sale for a movie in the last 5 years. And the last one was Spider-Man No Way Home, which is pretty massive because you know we know we know that movie theaters are struggling out there, guys. We know that it's tough, and you really need to do something special to get people to go out and see movies. Not to say that movies with worst pre-sales haven't done well at the box office, but the Mandalorian and Grogu is going to be the the lowest grossing Star Wars film ever, right? Like, and it's not because it's a bad movie, it's just because it's hard to get people to get out and go to the movies, right? And historically, even Spider-Man movies as a whole haven't been massive box office drivers, right? Like, Spider-Man is one of the biggest characters ever made, right? Like, Spider-Man is huge, but even the first Spider-Man from Disney, Homecoming, it made decent money. It was like 700 something million globally, which is good, but it's not like incredible, right? Like, for a character as big as Spider-Man, and the same with Superman, came out last year, made decent money, but it didn't break a billion. And people would expect characters like that to be breaking $1 billion easy, but they just don't really historically until No Way Home. It's because people anticipated those cameos. They knew what we were getting with No Way Home, in some way, shape, or form, right? We knew we were getting something special there. So it was a massive pre-sale, and I remember when it happened. It was supposed to be the next day, but it happened in the evening. It was like 7 p.m. or something, and like all the websites crashed and whatever. Everyone's refreshing their browser. I'm over there refreshing browsers, multiple tabs. Like, everybody's trying to get in and break the servers and whatever, right? And luckily, I was able to get them. I was able to go opening night. And the same thing's going to happen for Spider-Man Brand New Day. I was able to get the Amazon Prime members Fandango bullshit day early release access. So I'll be seeing it Wednesday, the 29th of July. And I'm really excited for it. And they released a new trailer too. Typically I wouldn't watch it, but I did see it. And it looks really good. It looks crazy. And I, as someone who loves Spider-Man, like, a lot of it is quintessential Spider-Man to me, and I am very excited. I think Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man we've ever got. I don't care what people say about nostalgia, this and the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and the movies and the writers and blah blah. I get it. You can make a case for whatever you want, but it's Tom Holland. It's Tom Holland for me all day, every day. No debate in my mind. But yeah, so all that stuff is exciting. Lots of things happening. Very cool. A very neato burrito. What the? Sorry. Very good. And yeah, Supergirl next week. I'll be seeing it. It'll be cool. Hopefully. I like Supergirl. I was a big fan of Peter David's run on Supergirl, and Woman of Tomorrow is great as well, and that's more or less what this is supposed to be based on. So let's see what happens. Let's see how good Jason Momoa is as Lobo. Everybody says, he was fan cast as Lobo for years and years and years before he ever got the role. So hopefully something cool comes of that as well. But yeah, like, last time Chair and I podcasted, it was 2 weeks ago. We talked about State of Play, which is PlayStation's event. So we talked about those, and then after that, there was the PC showcase, whatever, where they talked about a whole bunch of other new games. So there's a whole bunch of gaming stuff out there, and next time Chair and I talk, I'm sure we'll discuss some of that. And yeah, there's also just been a lot of other kind of like nerd news coming out. There was some stuff today about, I guess George Lucas had planned a Palpatine TV show or something that would like follow his rise. And this came from Ian McDiarmid, who played Palpatine. And he said it would be like, watching like the rise of Hitler kind of thing. And this was all before George Lucas sold to Disney. So when he sold, obviously that was scrapped. So that was in the news. There's so much just nerd stuff happening all the time now. And so I'm gonna gather a lot of that news, and Chair and I will talk about it. But today I'll just talk about kind of why we didn't podcast last week, because I was out of town. And some of the little adventures I've had. So last week, we took a couple of days off. My wife had a thing to do for her career, and she did very well, and she passed her exam and all this stuff, and so she's very good. And then we went to Monterey here in California for a couple of days. Listen, we enjoyed going there. It's peaceful. It's nice, right? It's good food. I'll tell you about the food I ate. It's very basic food. Like when I go there, usually what I do is I just eat fettuccine alfredo everywhere I go because I like it. And then there's certain takes on it that are pretty good. I could tell you who has good and who has bad fettuccine alfredo in Monterey. Like there's certain ones that are outstanding. There's others that I'm really not a fan of. But my favorite one is this place. It's called Rockfish Grill. It's right at the end of the boardwalk on Fisherman's Wharf. Their pasta, you can tell, is made fresh in house. Their Alfredo sauce has a white wine in it, so it brings a real nice flavor when you mix all those things together. It's just wonderful. So we got there, and we went to a place where I got fettuccine alfredo. It wasn't Rockfish Grill, but we went there for lunch. And then my wife had planned this months, maybe even last year, with some of her cousins, who they were here, where we are, and they were looking for things to do, and we talked about Monterey and whatever, and then they're like, oh, let's plan a trip or whatever. So they showed up as well. So they got there much later because we got there like 2:00 or something, or 1:00. I don't remember. It was like 1:00, and we got lunch, and then they got there way later. And so like around like 7 or 8, we went and got dinner with them, and then we went to Rockfish Grill. So I ate fettuccine alfredo twice in one day. I don't regret it. It was so fucking good. But yeah, then we the next day went to like the beach. We did some chill stuff. But the thing that like sticks out to me is you get this interesting dichotomy and juxtaposition of people when you're out. Like, I'm not really a person who spends a lot of time out with other people, just because it makes me uncomfortable a lot of times. But you're out and you see, like, we're in this nice place, it's peaceful, and like I'll see like people arguing, like whispering under their breath. You see just like the most miserable, vile people imaginable. And like that's something that's like difficult for me because I don't view myself as like a jolly, happy person in general. Like, like I'm fine. I get by, whatever. But, like some people might think I'm miserable. But like, if I'm going somewhere and spending money to go somewhere and enjoy the weather and the beach or the ocean or, whatever, like, why make your time miserable? Why, why, I get it. Like, people have like their stressors and everybody's different and whatever, but like, I think I'm a quite naive person a lot of times because I just generally think people are happy or good people, and I just see vile things happening and people just being miserable. And again, that's juxtaposed by there are plenty of people that are just loving life and enjoying their time and, happy with their kids or dogs or partners or whatever it is, just enjoying life. And I tend to think that, like, not think, but like, my base level is to expect most people feel that way. Most people are just happy to be where they are or whatever, and like you're in a place that people go to relax and enjoy themselves, and so I would expect people just to be enjoying themselves and happy to be away. And like for me, like I go when I go out or I'm like off work, like sure, I still feel like I should be working, so like I still think about work, but I can enjoy where I'm at and I can enjoy the time I'm spending with the people I'm around and have fun and joke and like I'm not there like things don't bother me as much in most of my life, like not like a lot of things don't really get to me, um or at least I try not to let them get to me, but like it's always interesting, like because you know sure people get mad sitting in traffic, like everyday things, mundanity, all this stuff, but like I don't expect like to see just people saying awful things to their partners or seeing just people just be miserable. um it's really jarring sometimes to me to be out and see those things because I don't really see that in everyday life. Again, I don't spend a whole bunch of time out in public when I'm at the gym or at work or whatever, and most people are kind of amenable and all this stuff, but to see that just like at a place specifically just existing for escape and fun and relaxation, like really you know that was interesting. But I saw a deer. That was cool. I I just we're just driving to go get dinner and there's a deer and I'm like, oh. And I would have stopped and took a picture, but I don't like stopping in the middle of the road or whatever, pulling off all that stuff. It's not like something I do. So, but it was like nice. Me and my wife were just like, oh look, a deer. That's like like we were eating dinner and there's a bunch of pelicans that flew by and like. Yeah, and look at all the pelicans. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just enjoying seeing seeing this nature, seeing these animals, little sea otters out there chilling. We had our dog with us. It's just, I'm just trying to enjoy life. I figure other people are doing that too. But yeah, it's an interesting thing being out there. So, but yeah, we had fun doing that. There's like a lot of like things I've been doing recently that I wouldn't normally do. Not Monterey is not one of those things, but I started doing. I think I talked about it with Cher before, but I started going to like powerlifting on Monday. I only went to it twice. I didn't go this week because missing a couple days of work last week. I had so much to catch up on, so I was I've been working at night. So I wasn't able to this week, but the past couple weeks, I've gone and gone to the powerlifting, and it's pretty cool. Like I know people that are there, and so then it's like makes it better. I get to see people, and just something that I've been trying to work on for me is like being a better friend or like maintaining friendship. Something I've struggled with, and something that I think I'm not good at. A lot of times I do feel quite alone. And I feel like I don't really have friends. Like, I don't know if it's a me thing or like a guy thing or like whatever. That it's like, I'll see like people I know just like always texting their friends, and I'm like, bro, I don't text anybody. Like, I don't have anybody really like that. I have people that are like friends that like will call me every now and then. I don't really like talking on the phone. I just talk to them because I want to talk, like to call. But like, I don't mind texting, but it's like there has to be value there, right? Like, I don't like just texting to text. Like, there's, I don't like just talking for no reason. So maybe it's a me thing. I don't know. It's very odd for me, but there's someone I work with who didn't have like the right cable package or bunny ears or whatever to watch the NBA finals, and so he was going to this local casino to watch the NBA final games. So I went with I met him there for game 1, 2, and 5, and so like that's something I wouldn't normally do. I wouldn't normally go meet a coworker out after work to go watch a game. So that's also new, but it's like I'm trying. I'm making an effort, and I'm like it's not easy. It's not easy for me, but yeah, it's always like there are certain things that happen. You go through life, whatever. Certain things happen, and they make you go or think about who you are and how you've been and why you're that way, and why do I feel this way, like where's this coming from, what's the struggle, like those are the kind of things that like I've had experiences with lately. And then I've been doing some therapy and learning more about myself and the way my brain works or whatever. And like to me, a lot of it isn't super relevant. Like it could be relevant in some ways to like help explain things. Um, it's like if your brain doesn't work in a typical way and you've been trying typical things to overcome what you've been going through, like it's not going to work because your brain doesn't work that way. So it's important to understand how your brain works so you can better, you know, what fuck, the word has escaped me, but you can better deal with those issues, right? You can address them better. And so it's been a little bit of that, but I think like even if you have an explanation for like, oh, my brain doesn't work like normal, like I know how my brain kind of works, like, but maybe I just don't think about it, right? Like, so I don't think about like, oh, well, like a normal person who functions normally would do this, so I should do something different to because doing this might not work for me because maybe I don't work that way, but it doesn't really cross my mind. But I guess it is important to understand and be able to address things in certain ways, right? Because even like little things about me, little things I do, little aversions I have, I've always just kind of like, it's just like who I am. Like that's just me, and like I'm not even necessarily trying to fix or address those things. But now that I've kind of like been doing some of this stuff, like it's like, oh, it's like very typical of people with certain attributes or certain things going on in their brains. So yeah, and I guess from a therapist point of view, it's like they need to understand why you are the way you are, because it could be, you could have a diagnosis of something, but it could be trauma, and they need to know which it is so that they can help you address it better as well. So I don't know. It's we're all learning here. We're all going through life. We're all trying. Well, I can't say we're all trying to be better because again, just based on some of the things I've seen, for people that are supposed to be just enjoying their time, not everyone is trying to better themselves. Not everybody's trying to be a better person or provide any value to anyone else. But I like to think that most people are good, genuine people, even though I don't really associate much with other people. It's really funny because I was talking to some coworkers the other day, and like, one of them mentioned, oh, like, do you like, oh, I'm sure your neighbors probably think this is really cool or whatever. And I was like, bro, I don't know any of my neighbors. I don't talk to any of my neighbors. And they're like, what? I'm like, is that not normal? Like anywhere I've ever lived, I've never gone and met my neighbors. I've never introduced myself. Like, it's just they've never come over to introduce themselves. For me, it's not normal. For me, but like apparently he's like, yeah, I know all my neighbors. I know everybody on our block. I know everybody on the next block. Like, and it's like, oh, I guess maybe that is normal for people. It's not super normal for me. Like I don't like if I see my neighbors and they wave, yeah, I'll wave back, but I don't typically make eye contact with people. I'm not great at making eye contact and in maintaining eye contact, and like I don't know. It's very interesting, I guess. Well, maybe it's not. Maybe it's pretty boring. Maybe everyone's saying, "Hey, yo, why are you talking about yourself so much?" I just wanted to talk. I got no one to talk to right now. I want to podcast. I want to make sure I get some content out there for people to enjoy if they want to enjoy it. I know it's not the typical thing we would do where we talk about nerd stuff, but hey, this is stuff that's happening in the life of a nerd right here. Me. So yeah, I don't know if anybody can relate to any of that or anybody's had any similar experiences. But I'm gonna wrap it up. It's just a short one. I just wanted to talk a little bit. But if you have any thoughts, if you have any comments, you can go ahead and if you're watching on YouTube, put a comment, do whatever. If you're listening on Spotify, you can also comment. There's Spotify podcast comments enabled. If you're listening on Apple, you could leave a review. Anything is nice. You know what I'm saying? If you're watching, if you saw a clip on TikTok and it brought you to the podcast, let me know. We got to know what's working, what's not working. But yeah, much love, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Do all the things, click all the buttons, rate, comment, review, subscribe, and we'll see ya next time. Ciao, ciao.